Hi everybody, once again you are welcome to my YouTube tutorial, and in today's video we are going to be talking about sales and inventory analysis. As you can see, we have sales and inventory analysis. Though it's been a while, but we are just going to be talking about a basic aspect of it. As you can see, if you read through this, you can see at the top we see key metrics. This is our metrics that they asked us to work on. And here is our forecast. We have sales forecast and the sales trend and the forecast stabilization in 2025. Then we have sales and profit by product type. Then we have inventory position on hand versus back order. Then we have demand concentration by product type. These are something we'll be talking about, and I want you to just pay in listening here as we all learn together. Especially if you're a beginner, there's so many things to learn about this, and if you have not really done what we call forecasting in Power BI, you are going to be seeing how I did this forecasting in Power BI. As you can see, I already have my own blank report opened already. So this is my own blank report, and I'm going to also be providing the data set that we are going to be using for this analysis. So if you have not, you can just also, and if you are new to my YouTube channel, this is Peter Analytics, where we teach people about data analysis, Power BI, Tableau, and Looker Studio. We also do something about Python and SQL as well. So if you are new, you can just come to file, then from file you can just come to blank, then from blank you get to how I got my own. Then I'm going to introduce the data set that we are going to be using. Then we come to get data. I have my data set in Microsoft Excel, so I'll be clicking on Excel. Then I have my own in download already. Even without that, I have inventory, I have sales, and I have items. So I'm going to be picking them one after the other. I can pick from inventory. Then I'm going to open it. Then we allowed it to load, and then we start our analysis. So this is the first data set that we are going to be using, which is inventory analysis. So we are waiting just in a moment. As you can see, we have sheet 1. Then I'm going to click on here in order for me to preview how the data set look like. So this is the data set. So one thing I always tell people is you can either load directly or you transform directly. If you are very sure that your data is well cleaned, then you can just load your data directly, and you are going to find yourself here, just like what I have here. This is the model panel. When I click on here, I'm going to see my own data here. But because of people that wanted to learn so many things, so we are going to just transform our data, because there's so many things to transform in this inventory. So I'm going to click transform. Then after that, I will just allow it to open. Then we get another data. This is what we call Power Query editor. So we are moving from our model to our Power Query editor. So we have our sheet 1. We are going to be renaming it. That is not a problem. So the next thing we are going to have is this. We are going to click on new socks in order for us to get all the data. Probably before doing that, let me just try to name this, because this is our inventory, and let me name it as inventory. Let me see, why are we having, I don't want to refresh. So we don't want sheet 1, so we have inventory, because that is our inventory. So I have to click save. Then I go back to new socks in order for me to get all that data. Then allow it to open. This is Microsoft. Then I just click connect. Then from there, I get my second data, which is the sales. I click opened. In this case, we don't have to load or transform anymore, because already we've chosen the first one to make it transform. So this one will directly shows the data, preview, then go to our Power Query editor. There are pending changes in your query that haven't been applied. That wouldn't be a problem. So we have our second one, and this is our sales. The film is up to 15 days old. Let's remove it. I don't want to. Then I have sales. I think because I've already used this before, so that is why it's trying to give me again. So then we go back to new socks and get our third data. Then Microsoft is already. Then I click connect. Then I'm going to have the inventory item, which is the third data set that we are going to be using for this analysis. So we have our data set completely already. So I'm just going to click on this sheet one. Everything is also good. Then I'm going to connect as well. Then we have the old data set here. So I don't want to refresh. I just have to name it as item. I think that is good already because that's the 3 data sets that we need. So that's some column that is not useful. Then I'm going to be removing them. Right click, then we'll remove this. We don't need a grid. Item ID, we can leave it, though we may not really need it. Type, we need our type. Item VAT, actually we don't need the item VAT, but we can leave it. Battery capacity, we don't need the battery capacity. We'll remove the battery capacity. Item category, we need it. Manufacturer ID, we need the manufacturer ID. So let's leave it. Then go back to sales. In the case of the sales, the grid as well, I don't need the grid, but there's something I would just like us to do. Let me come back to this, and I'm going to remove this. Yeah, that is, I'm going to remove everything. So we have this. What first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to close and apply. I want to close and apply. Then I'm going to check the relationship. Let me see if we are going to have what we call automatic relationship. If we have, definitely I think there's something that I'm not going to remove, and if it doesn't have, so definitely those one doesn't actually need. So let's wait a bit and let it load. We can always go back to our Power Query, and this is what we call our data panel. As you can see, we have the data panel here. Then one after the other, I'm going to be showing you what everything's entail. So let's just wait a bit and let's see how everything finally loaded. Our 3 data set already. Then we go to our relationship, as you can see. So definitely there is nothing that connects our relationship together. So we go back to our Power Query Editor. Then I can just come here, use the Power Query Editor. It will take me directly to Power Query Editor. The reason why I decided to do it like this first is for me to see if the data set that I have already have what we call relationship together, but it doesn't have. So that means I'm going to be the one to create the relationship myself. So we can start from the inventory. I don't actually need this because it's not useful. Then I'm also going to remove location, is not useful as well. Then I'm going to remove the item guide, so it's not as well useful. Then we have quantity available. All these, they are actually useful, so I'm going to leave it this way. Then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to sales. I don't need this. I don't need this item guide. I don't need this. I don't need inventory guide. I'm just going to, I can as well just right click and remove. Then I can just come to choose column or choose row. Probably let's come to choose column first. You can see. Then I come to choose row. Then I can remove other rows. I can keep rows. I can remove columns. And let's come to this place. I can as well do whatever I want to do. So first of all, we are going to right click from here, or we are going to remove columns, remove other columns. If I said remove other columns, definitely is going to remove everyone that I didn't highlight. So because I want it to remove, so let me come back again. Then this, I press Control on my keyboard, then I'm having this. I'm selecting this, I'm selecting this, I'm also selecting this. Then I right click, then remove columns, because we have several columns. If I say remove other columns, it's going to remove every other one. So not other columns, but remove a column, this selected columns. You can see it has already removed the selected columns from there. Then from here, we have what we call our date. So we are going to be changing our date to, we are having date and time, but we don't need the date and time. We only need dates alone. So we have this as dates alone. Then we change this as well to date alone, which is our transaction date. We have actual ship date. We have to change it to date alone. We don't need date at time. Ship date, also date. Then we come to this as well. We change it to date alone. Then we have every other one. I think there goes. So it's well ordered. We don't need this. In company, let's remove. Let me see. Also, we are going to remove these two as well. We are going to remove this, and then we are going to remove this. So these two we don't need them. So I'm going to right click, and I'm going to remove columns. So peradventure, if I mistakenly remove a used column, I can easily come back here to ask it to be removed. Well, I think with this we have everything perfect that we need. Let me scroll. Yeah, everything is good, and we have our dates, we have our data sets. Another thing I want you to see is this. When you come to view, you can see if I uncheck this column quality, you won't see anything, that is. But in order for me to see if I have some data unclaimed, that was why I used to uncheck column quality. You can see we have everything 100% without no error, no empty set, so everything is complete. This also will help you in your analysis. Then already we are done with this. We can just go back to all, then go to item. Then from the item, I don't need this, so I can easily remove this. Then every other ones, I think, okay, I don't need the battery capacity. Let's remove the battery capacity as well, and let's remove the item what we don't need it. So the manufacturer ID, to be honest, we don't need it, but let me come back to inventory and the sales first. We have this, we don't have anything here. Transaction ID, and let me see, this is transaction ID. Let me see in the item, did I have transaction ID? I only have item ID. And let me see if I can just put the transaction ID here to see, even though I put it here, I think, and let me just try it. So let's go to match query. I'm still going to merge the sales and the item together. I want to make them also match to query. Let me just come back to, I want to match something from the sales. Shoes, I need the sales. And what did I need from the sales? I only need the transaction ID from the sales. Let me select the same. I don't really have, let me see. I have a 0 of 100, so there's nothing to mash them together. So that is a bit here. Okay, I'm going to cancel it. One thing I'm going to do, I'm going to create an ID here. So how can we create our ID? I'm going to add column. Then I'm going to either I go to custom column or I go to index column. But what I'm going to be using is index column. Then I'm going to be using from 0 to 1. Index column. As you can see, we have this index column. Then I'm going to rename it as item. Then I'm going to have hyphen ID, because already we have item ID here, but I'm going to have hyphen ID in between. So let me make it a capital letter. So we have this already, that is good. Then I'm going to come back to the cells. I'm also going to have what we call item ID from the cells also. So we go to index column. I'm going to have it from 0, as you can see. So I also have it from 0 here. Then I'm going to name it as sales ID. So we have that already. So we have something in common. In order for me to merge them together, I come to inventory. Then I'm going to, let me come to inventory again and let me see from 0 to, we are going to be testing so many things for you to quickly see how you can, in case you don't have any relationship in your data. This is inventory. Then I'm going to have inventory ID. Then I'm going to have inventory ID. I'm going to click OK. So we have this now. Then I will go back to home. I want to test the relationship. I'm going to close and apply. I want to see if I'm going to have a relationship. So let me see if we are going to have an automatic relationship. Otherwise, then definitely we still have some work to do. Let's see. So actually, we don't have any relationship together. So these are several ways of testing. So I will go back to home. Let me see again. No. Then I can just go back to transform. So already we'll go back to our Power Query editor. Then from there, as I've said, I want to merge our sales and inventory together. So I'm coming to merge. I'm not going to merge as new because I still want to use the inventory. So I'm going to have merge query. Just merge query. Then I'm going to come to inventory. Then I'm going to pick inventory. And I'm going to pick something that can connect all them together. A sales and inventory, we have sales ID. Don't forget we have inventory ID as well. You can see we have 300 over 300, 300 of 300. Initially, in the case of item and the sales, we don't really have anything that can connect them together. So that is why I couldn't connect anything together. So I'm merging this together. Then I'm going to click OK. Already I have selection match, which is 300 of 300 from the first table. So that is good. I can just merge everything together now. Now I am coming back to the inventory. Now this is the inventory table. And then I need everything in the inventory table. There I want to use the original column name as preface. And let me set no. So let me leave this and let me click OK. And let's have them together. So I have all the data from inventory now down to sales. So we're having as one table. Then now I can just from here then try to merge some things from sales now. So if I'm picking this is, if I'm picking sales, you can see I will surely have something that can connect them together. Inventory ID. I have inventory ID. I have, let me come back to where the sales ID. I have sales ID. I have item ID. You can see I'm having 300 over 300. I only need the ID alone. So I'm going to click OK. Then I'm going to open this. I'm going to unselect all because I only need the sales ID alone. I only need the sales ID and subsidiary ID as well and inventory ID. These are the three things that I need. in order for me to get my relationship. So I'm going to make it okay. So you can see these are the three things that I need. Subsidiary says, and I have this now in the item ID. Then I come back to the inventory. I don't need this inventory because already I have the inventory here. So I'm going to right click here. You can see enable load. I'm going to say no. I don't want to enable load. Disabling load will remove the data from the report, and any feature that uses column will be broken. Continue, because already I have this two to be one. So you can see we are going to have it an italic. That means I have already enabled disable load. So I'm going to click on apply, and let's watch our relationship now if we are going to have automatic relationship. Remember, this inventory is no longer useful, so we don't actually need it. So, and let's wait a moment. In a minute, I think we should. Everything should be loaded. So let's see if we have a relationship connected. You can see we have a relationship, and we have one-to-one, and one-to-one is not actually what we want. We want one-to-many. One-to-many. I can just click this, go to property. I can as well do it here. So we are having one-to-one on both sides. I need one-to-many, and I need, let me put it single first. So let me save. So one of these to many of this. So we can have our work saved for the first time. Then I go back to our panel now. So the first thing we are going to do, we are going to create mayor. I'm just going to create, this is what I'm going to do for my mayor. I'm going to enter a depot, enter data, and in this data will allow you to open, and then I will just, the only thing I'm just going to put is just mayor. I'm just going to name it as mayor. So that is all. Then I'm going to load. So that is what I'm going to use. You can see we don't have inventory here anymore because I've already clicked on check load. Then here I would leave it as page 1. I'm just going to make it as reports. So that will be the best thing to do. Then I'm going to click enter. Then we have about 5 KPIs to write. Then I will come back to mayor here. Then I will come to here, 3 dots, and I'm going to click on the 3 dots, and I'm going to click on new mayor. And then from the new mayor, I'm going to have my mayor as usual. So I'm going to have total sales, which is okay, and make it our total sales. We have our total sales here. And our total sales is just the sum, because we are going to sum everything together. So we are going to sum our sales amount. Let's come down to sales amount. So we are going to find our sales amount here. That's it. Then it's enter on my keyboard, or I can just come back here to just click it. So we have the first one. Because I don't need this column 1, I'm just going to click on it. Then I'm going to delete from model. Please make sure it's delete column 1, not the mayor that we've already created. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to create our cost of goods sold. Our cost of goods sold. So how are we going to know our cost of goods sold? I'm going to use our cost of goods sold times 0.7. That is what I'm going to use for our cost of goods sold. So I'm going to make new mayor again. Then I'm going to have CO cost of goods sold, COGS. So I'm going to have our GOS is equal to our total sales, and I'm going to have our total sales here. Then I'm going to times it by 0.7. So I'm going to times it by 0.7. You may ask me, why am I times it by 0.7? But don't forget, what we are doing is we are having our quantity times our sales. So that should be what we are having as our cost of goods. So I'm using 0.7 of our quantity. So that is why I'm having this. So this is going to give us our cost of goods sold. I'm going to click OK. Then the next thing we are going to have is we are going to have what we call on hand. We want to see our quantity on hand. You can see when we come to, let me come to this sales item, we are going to have inventory. Already I've made the inventory and the sales to be 1. Initially I can make them differently, but I decided to make them 1. So there's something we need, which is the quantity on hand. So you can see we have this quantity on hand. So we are going to create a measure for this quantity on hand. So that is why I'm going to create a new measure again, which is going to make it the 4th one. So quantity on hand is just going to give us the total quantity. That's all. So we are going to have the sum of the quantity on hand, because that's what we need. So we have, okay, let me make it total quantity here, or probably let me just make it quantity on hand. So you're able to understand it better. Quantity on hand. So I'm having capital letter quantity I'm having on hand. This is our inventory. So this is our stock. We are talking about stock. So we want to know how much stock do we have on hand. So we're going to have the sum. Then we're going to have here. Let's scroll down. Then we're going to have what we call quantity on hand. We have our quantity on hand. Then we are going to then either enter on your keyboard or you come here to. Then the next thing we are going to do, we are going to have back order. We want to see the back order that we have, because this is an inventory. So we want to see the back order so that we'll be able to tell the manager that look at it, we have so much back order that we needed to, or we need to attend to as much as possible. So we have a back order. So then we look at that. So we have a back order. And our back order is going to give us the sum of the back orders as well. So we are going to sum them together. So let's go to our back order. So we have the sum of the back order. So we're going to hit enter. Then the last but not the least that we are going to have is we are going to have our profits. We want to see our total profit, which is our gross profit. Then how do we calculate our profit now? Our profit is going to be our sales revenue from the cost of goods sold. That is how we are going to have our gross profit. So this is our profit, and gross profit is going to give us our total sales minus our cost of goods sold minus cost of goods sold minus cost of goods sold. So that's going to give us our profits. Then I can decide to use here as well. So we are done with the 5 KPIs that we need. Then I just have to save. Please also try to save your work. Then I'm going to put a card here, and I'm going to make it a card. And before I make it a card, we also like to have a table. Then from the table, I'm going to let me close this cells and let me go to the item. I want to see the item category. So let me click on the item category first. I want to check my mail if everything I created. So these are the item category. I want to see sales. for each item category. So you can see, so our relationship is actually working. So we have appliance 177,492 electronics. Then I'm going to have quantity on hand on each. You can see these are the quantity on hand that we have. Let me see back order on those. These are back order that we have. So you can see quantity on hand. You can see back order that we have a lot of back order. So the next thing I'm going to do is, let me see, cost of goods sold on each. So in each, you can see this is what we actually sold in each products, in each item category. Then let me see what is our profit on those. So we have this profit on each. So appliance, we have 59,000. This we have 9,000. So, but we have something that we need to look at for here. So I'm going to put this one here. Then I'm going to put it somewhere around here. So I'm just going to put it down here. I will come back to it later. I just want to use it to check if our something works. Then the first thing is I'm going to pick on the sales. As you can see, we have our sales revenue, which is 712,000. I go back to, I don't need, let me make it 0, not automatic. Let me just make it 0, and that will be good. So, and another thing is, since it's sales, so we need a currency. So I'll come down to this currency here, and I'm going to use the first currency. And we have that. And we make it, I want to make it 0, not 1. 712,000. I think that is 712,000. We have our source. Then the next I'm going to do, come to these 3 dots. If you are new, we come to these 3 dots. Then we go to format. We want to format. Then we go to category label. First of all, before the category label, we don't need a background for it, so I remove the background. So sorry, of the background. Then I will come to colored category. I mean this label. Let's switch off the label. We put it up. So colored value. Let me make it like 30, and that should be good enough for us. So yeah, we have that to be good enough. Then we come to putting on the title. Then we have our total sales. We have our total sales. Then you can see we have it at the left side. I want to make it right and the center. So I am making it center. So that should be good. And let me see. Okay, we have our sales here. Then everything is perfectly good. And the next thing that I need here is I go to our style. Then I just need shadow on it. So we have this perfectly in order. Then I'm just going to make it here. Then I'm going to copy. I'm going to paste it like 4 times because we need other 4. So I'm going to make this, and I'm going to make this as well, and I'm going to make this as well. So we have it. The reason I'm doing it this way is because I don't want to start up, because we don't want to start afresh. So that's why I have to just make them one. So I'm having this here. I'm also having this. So we're having the 5 complete. So I'm going to be coming to cost of goods sold now. And I'm going to be changing this from sales to cost of goods sold. Then I'm going to remove this. Then go to the title. So we have to change the title, which is going to give us cost of goods sold. So we have that already. And our cost of goods sold is going to give us a currency as well. So let me mark on it, and let me go to our cost of goods sold. We are going to have a currency of this, and then I don't want 2 decimal. I want to make everything unique, so I'm going to have 0. So that is for that. That's for our cost of goods sold. Let me see. Am I still having? Let me see if I'm still having. Let me bring down. Let me bring down. So I just want to round it up. So then we come to the next one is going to give us our quantity on hand. So we want to see how many items, how many stock do we have currently on hand. As you can see, we have 23,000 quantity on hand. Quantity on hand. I think something is wrong with this quantity on hand. Quantity on hand is going to give us sum of quantity on hand, sum of quantity, sum of sales, quantity on hand. Let me see. Sum of sales. Oh, sorry. In transit. Wow. In transit. We don't need in transit. This is in quantity on hand. Quantity on hand. So that we back, and that should give us 80 something thousand. Yeah, this is our quantity on hand. 80 something thousand. So we should have it here, so you can see. So we come back to the third one, and the third one is going to give us our back order. So I have to change this to quantity on hand. Let's do that. So we have this as quantity on hand. Then the third one is going to give us our back order. We want to see what is our back order. We have a back order of 30,000. So we have to just let the manager know that, see, we have a back order that we needed to attend to as soon as possible. And you know what I'm going to do? Back order. I'm going to make, let me go to the value, call out value. I'm going to make this actually red, so that the manager could know that, oh, we have something that we need to deal with here urgently. Then we have our profit, that's all. So we want to see what is our profit, which is our gross profit. Then we have a profit of 23,000, and our profit should also be currency. So please make your profit currency. We'll bring down here. We have our profit as currency. Then I'm going to make it 0 decimal. So is everything nice now? Yeah. So this is our profit. So we have our profit now. So I'm going to collapse this. I'm going to collapse this. So we actually don't need it. Then I'm going to, and let me see if I can just make all this a bit smaller, 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 smaller. Then I'm going to format. Then I'll go to style. The height is, let me see if I can reduce the height a bit. Let me see again. Okay. The wide. The reason why I'm doing this is because I want a unique. So let me see. So everything is nice now because of the title. Because of the title. So we have this and we have this. So I'm just going to remove this. I actually don't need it. So this is going to be removed. Then I'm going to save. Then the next thing we are going to have our forecast. Then I'm picking my line chart. Then I'm going to have my line chart here. Then I'm going to have what we called our sales, because that is what we are going to use for our forecast. We want to focus our sales for the next year. So what we are going to pick our total sales. Then after our total sales, we are going to pick our dates. These are the two things we needed to pick for our forecast. So we are going to pick which date are we going to use? We are going to use our transaction date. So we have our total sales already. Then we go to our sales, then we move down to our transaction date. So you see what we have in our forecast. But actually, do we need all this? We only need month and year. We only need month and year, so let's remove day from it. We don't want day. And let's remove quarter. So this is what we need. As you can see, we have in share total sales months 2023 April. This is what we have. 2023 May. You can see we have slots. Then now let's scroll down here. When you scroll down, you're going to see what we call forecast. Just on the forecast. So you can see we are having our forecast. And then let me scroll down. Let me open the forecast. I would like to teach you some things in the forecast. Now we are having our point. Our point that we are having, we can decide to make our point monthly, because that is what we are really interested in. Then we go to our confidence interval is 95. So what does that mean? We are saying we are looking for at least 95% of what we are forecasting for. So we are expecting to have what we call like 95% of our confidence. So this is what we call confidence interval. And how do we measure this? We can use what we call MAPE, which is mean absolute percentage error. So we come back here. So we are having our forecast, as you can see, for the upper band and the lower band. So this is what we are actually having, because we want to see our forecast for 26 trend and the forecast for 6 stabilization in 2025. So that's going to be our title. Let me just try to probably, there's a way I can make this title here so that I won't just be writing the title. So let's just come to the title. I'm going to pick the title here. So I have the title already. Then I'm going to pick the title. Then we'll come back to our title. Then we are going to have, instead of total sales per month, we are going to have what we call sales trend and forecast stabilization in 2025. Then I'm going to make it center. So you can see we are still going to have our filter for us to see. So what do we have in 2020, November 2024? We are having a total sales of 40,455. I'm only forecasting for how many months? I'm forecasting for 1 year. So you can see in here, you can actually focus for 12 months. You can focus for 1 year. You can focus for, it depends. You can focus for 3 months. Like in our point now, I'm using focus length. Focus length should give me 12, because already you can see here we are having it till October, which is 10 months. So I can decide, since I'm using monthly, I can decide to use 12 because we are having a 12 month. And let's see, we should be having October, December, and something like that. So if I click apply, so we are going to have what we call our something. Let me click apply and let's see if you can see here. So we are having till December, as you can see. So this is our forecast for here, but I want us to focus for just 6 months, so I'm going to be using 6 here. So we only want to see for 6 months, so that is why we are having it till June. We are having our upper bound and we're having our lower bound, and we're having our confidence value to be 95%. So we don't actually need focus line. We don't have to put a focus line, so let's just leave that already. I've applied this, so we can just close that. Then we come back to, let's come to the x-axis first. Let's go up and let's come to the x-axis. The year already, we don't need the year title. Let's remove it, but the value, we can actually, let me see the value 9. Let's make the value like 10 and 11. Let's make it a bit bold. Let's make it 12. Then for the y-axis, the y-axis, we don't need anything about the y-axis, both the title, both the value, we don't need it. So this is our forecast. So let me try to check the title. I'm having something like T at the back. So not T sales, we're having sales and forecast stabilization in 2025. So that's what it's telling us. As you can see, from 2023 to 2024, we are having what we call a slope up and down, but it's telling us that in 2025 we are going to have what we call a stable sales. That's why we have stabilization in 2025. So what next am I going to do? I come back here. I don't need the background. Then I'm just going to put a shadow, so that should be good. And let me try to reduce it a bit. Let me reduce it a bit, and let me go to value, data label. Actually, let me see if adding a data label would make sense. We want to see, oh, actually good. So we are having it that way. So you can see we have what we call May 2023 and we have June 2023. So we'll go to June 2024. So that is actually good. So we can take that away. So let me close this. And the next thing we need is our, let's see, so that is good, from January 2023. So the next thing we need is our sales and profits by type, product type. So we need our sales and profit by product type. So what chart are we going to use this time around? Are we encourage? We used, let me go back to up. So I just want us to use the same thing. So I will encourage we use what we call our line and stack column chart. Line, okay, we should use our line and cluster column chart. That is good. No, please don't make the same mistake. Click out of it already. Then we can now pick this as a new chart. So we have it here. So we have it here, we have it here, and we have it here. So what are we going to pick first? We are going to pick, because it's sales and our gross profit, we need our sales, our gross profit, then we need what we call our item products. Item that we are going to have that in our item, so we need our product type. So we go to our product type. Let's collapse this and let's go to our item. We need, this is item category, this is product, this is item ID, this is type. So we have our item already. Yeah. Then we have, let's go to our total sales. And you can see we have our total sales already. Then let's go to our gross profit, which is going to be in our line. So you can see we have it down here. And let me try to make it a bit big. So we have a slope down. Then what we're going to be doing, the first thing I want us to do, let's go to format. First of all, from the format side, let's remove our title. We have sales and profit by, I also want us to use the same title, so I'm just going to copy the title, and I'm going to just put the same title here. So we have our title to be here. So we have our sales and profit by product type, and I'm going to center it. Then the next thing is we go down to our legend. We are not going to remove the legend, but we are going to, what are we going to do? We don't need the title. We don't need a title, so we are going to remove the title. So we have everything perfectly good now. Then let's go back to our y-axis. I don't need anything in the y-axis, but the title, but the value, I don't need it, but we need this, so please just leave it like that. This gives us the scale of what we are doing. So I'll just go back to our x-axis. In the x-axis, we don't need a title. I'm just going to make the value 12, like that of something that we have. So we have it so. And I'm going to change the line. I want to change the line type. Let me just go to the line tab. Let me see the color that I used for the line axis. If I couldn't find it, then we just have to test color. Okay, let's go to the line. We have our value here. Do we need to put a value? Let's go to the data label. Okay, we have our line, and let's come to the line. Let's go to the color. I just want to make it like no, okay, let me just make it another color. Okay, we can actually leave what we used before. So what we use is not really bad, so let's leave it that way. Then we go to our data label. We have our data label. Then we are going to select it better. We are going to have, let's go to data label, and let's go to series. Let me see, sales, let me see, position, column position. One should be up and the other one should be in. Let me apply settings to gross profits. Position, not photo. Let me see under. Yeah, I want it to be under the something. So background, we don't need the background. Then the next thing we can just do, because of the color, I'm going to make it a bit darker. So let me go to the value, profit. Let me just make it more darker here. So that's good. So that we'll be able to actually see it. Then I want to change the color to be the same color with the line chart. So let me go to the line chart and let me look at the color for the line. This is our forecast, right? Yeah. So I need this color. This is the color I actually need. And I'm going to copy this color. Then I'll bring it down here. Then not. Let me come to the column and let me see. I want this color. So we're having the same color now. Then we can just, then we go back to our settings again. We don't have this in the 0.13 million. We don't really understand what is 0.13 million means. So we go to our apply settings. Then we apply settings. Let me see. Apply settings should be show all series. Apply settings. So we have our apply settings to no. This. Can close our column. I want to apply the settings now to what we call gross profits, sales profits, total sales. So then go to the value, auto, I'm going to make it none. Let me see what we have. Exactly, so we are having the right as something, so 126,000. I think that is actually good. Where is our line chart? Where is our line chart? Did I switch up something? Apply settings to show. Okay, so we can leave the color like that. So we are done with that. So if I expand this, for instance, let me try to expand this for you to see. You will see, if I expand it, you can see that we have our something starting from 38,000. That is why we are having this line downward. So that is why we are not leaving the other side for you to see. So, and if we decide to switch it off, so definitely we are going to have this not in a good slope, and I want it in a very good slope. So it shows that we are starting from 38,000. So the next thing we are going to do, let me see, should we make this also? Let's go back. Let's go back and let's go to background. We don't want background, as I've said, we don't want shadow. So we have that already settled, which is our profits. You can see we have our profits as 38,044. So I'm going to save this work now. Then the next thing we are going to have, that we should have, we are going to have our item inventory now. So we are going to have what we call our inventory, which we are going to be using this, which is our clustered column charts. We are going to be having our cluster column chart here, and in our cluster column chart we are going to be having the first one. We are going to be having our cluster column chart. We are going to be having our item category. So we are still going to our item. So we are having the item category first, then followed by, after our item category, we are going followed by the next thing that we are having our quantity available and the quantity back order. Quantity available, quantity back order, quantity on hand. So we come to our sales here. So I'm going to be picking quantity available. This is the quantity available first, then followed by quantity, let me see, so that I will be able to arrange it as the way we have it in the project that we did. So we have quantity available. Quantity available should be the second one. So let me try to remove this. So we are going to have quantity, let me scroll down, quantity on hand. We are going to have our quantity on hand, followed by quantity available, followed by quantity back order. So the quantity back order, let me see our quantity back order. So we have our back order. So this is what we have in our back order. Then we have everything completely as settled. Then the next thing I'm going to do is let's go to background. We don't want the background. I can put the shadow. Straightforward. Then let's remove the title of the, then I'm going back to the title here. I'm going to use the same title that I used there because I want it to be uniform. So we are having inventory, position versus back order. So we come back here. I'm having my title. Where is my title? So there's the title. So I'm having, I don't need all the sum of a 10. So I'm having the title here. You can see we are having inventory. So our high is missing. So we're having inventory. So I'm going to center it to be at the center. Then another thing I want us to do is we don't want this. We are going to rename this instead of having some. We don't want anything sum. We just want quantity. You can see we just want to say quantity. Let me see first. So we just want to see quantity on hand. Then I'm going to rename it properly. So I'm going to make this capital G. No. Quantity should be Q. Then I'm going to remove every other ones. So we have quantity on hand to make it short. Then followed by we don't need or really need quantity available. Then we are going to have this. Then we have that already. Then we are going to have quantity per quarter. Let's come here. We don't want the sum of it in. We have quantity. So let's remove this. So this is something we have. So that is just how to rename if you are trying to rename your chart to follow this something you have. So item category, we need this title. So let's go to the S-axis. We need the title for the S-axis. Item category. Already we don't need inventory position on and versus backorder. So item category, we are going to need it. Where is our title? So it's going to S-axis value. The title, it shouldn't be automatic. So why are we having automatic title? We are having items category. Yeah. So we are having the item category, and we are going to make it 9 and 12. So we just make it 12 is okay. Every other ones, they are good. Then we go back to our y-axis. We don't need anything about the y-axis. Everything can be switched off. Y-axis, we don't need the title, and at the same time, we don't need the value. So we have it. So let's see. We have our item category. Tools quantity on hand is 18,000 something, 18,721. So you can see quantity available. This is it. Then we have quantity back order. We have 6,900 and something. So we have that. Let's just go to our data label and let's give the proper data label that it is. We don't actually want, so we have 18.3 thousand. That means it's going to give us 18.30 thousand, 16.5. Let me actually, I don't want to use 1,000. Let me go back to, let's go to the value, our data label. We have our data label already, right? We have, I think we do. So we have our data label. So let's go to the value. Position, the value. Display unit. Let me put it as none. So it gives us the actual number that they have. One thing I want to do, I want to change this to red. Because already we're having the back order as red, so I also want to make this red so that the manager could see it and say, oh, truly we have a back order that we just have to attempt. So let me go to the column and let me select back order and let me change the color to this red. Not bad. So because we needed to attend to our back order as soon as possible. So the last but not the least chart that we are going to be having, let me put this one here. And put this one here. The last but not the least, we are going to be having tree map. We need a tree map. We need a tree map. Why do we need a tree map? We want to know our quantity, how it was being sold. So we go back to and we look for our tree map. Make sure you click out of any of these, otherwise it will replace it. So we have our tree map here, and we are going to bring it a bit down to make sure we have the same length, the same height. So in our tree map, what are the data that we need? In our tree map, we need, first of all, our total quantity. So let's see. That should give us the total quantity sold. Total quantity sold. Total quantity sold. Do we have quantity order? So because we don't have, so we are going to create another measure now, but we are not going to use it. We are going to use it for here. So we don't really have it here. So I'm going to create a new measure. Then I'm going to have what we call our total quantity. So I'm going to name this total. Let me shorten it. Total quantity sold. And total quantity is going to give us this sum. So we are going to have the sum of quantity order. So let's for the quantity order. Quantity order. So that is total quantity sold. And I'm going to pick it. Then followed by what else? Then we need our product type. Total quantity sold. Then we need our product type. This is it. So you can see this is our product type. So these are amount sold by each product type. Let me see. We are using our product type, but I just want to see the item. Electronics with. So this is the product type that was sold. So we are using our product type, not item category. So this is our product type. We want to see. You can see each product that was sold. How much do we sell to get halogen? How much do we sell to get this? So how much quantity? So let's go to our value data label. So we are going to put our data label. I don't want to use. Let's go to the value. I want to, where's the value? So I don't want to, I want to make it none. So it gives us actually the exact number that was sold. So we sold 3,240 because if I use auto, we will not get the actual amount we sold because the manager might ask me, how much do we really sell for LCD? I won't say we sold 3,000 products. No, I just want to know how much, how many, not how much, how many. So we sold the quantity sold. So we sold 3,240. So I should be able to tell my manager we sold 3,240 for LCD. For incandescent, we sold 3,235, and for LED we sold 3,098. So that is why I don't want to make it round it up in 1,000. So we already have that. Then I'm going to use the headings. So it's going to be our demand. So we are rounding up, so it's going to give us, let me go to our demand. The title is going to give us, so we are going to have our demand concentration by product type. So, and we're going to have it at center. Then the next thing is, let me go to position. We don't want background, and we only want the shadow. So that's how we have everything. Do we have the shadow here? I think we don't. Let me go back to it. We don't really have the shadow. So we want the shadow. So already we have everything complete as requested. So these are the first shots that they needed. They want to see a forecast for year 2025. We've already give them this are the forecast for 2025. So that's something I want us to do to just make it somehow unique before we proceed. I'm just going to use them for everything. So I will come back to our background. I'm going to get a background code. So I'm going to have the code. Then first of all, I have this. Then I'll just come back to the background. So we have the background. Then we have color. Then I'm going to have it as this. So that is done already. So then we'll come back to this. We have the background as well. Let me just go to the background. So we want the background to be this as well. So I move to this. Let me come to this. Then let me have the background to be this. Then let me come back to this. Let me have the background as well to be this. Don't forget that we have not saved our work for a while now. So we need to save. After this, then I will just come back to this. I'm going to hold this. I'm going to hold this. Let me see if it works. Hold this. Hold this. Hold this as well. And let me go to the old background. And let me just change everything to this. So we have that. Good. Let me click out. So we have everything perfectly done. Perfectly done. Then the next thing that we just need is we just need our footer and our title. So that's what we need. So I'm going to bring this down a bit. I'm also going to bring this down a bit. I'm also going to bring this down a bit. I'm just going to bring this down a bit as well. Also bring this one down a bit. So I'm going to save. Then I'm going to have type item. Then let's see, probably let me pick from here so that we see which we use our slicer. Let's use this. Where is our slicer? I hope I click out before. Okay, let me have this slicer again. I'm going to have this slicer. So I'm going to have the slicer like this. So the first thing I'm going to have is the year. So, I didn't. Let me see if having a year alone will work. 2023, 2024. Let me go to the settings. Where is? Let me go to format. And let me go to slicer settings in between, let me make it drop down. So I have the drop down, and let me see the background, either icon, front, background. Let me see, because I want to also make the same background. Let me see. Okay. What? No. That is not the background I want. So please, let me come back to this. We don't want undo again. You can also use Ctrl Z. So then we go to our slicer heading. So let's wait a bit. So font color, background, this should be, this is what I actually need. Exactly. So I can click out, and that is all. And also slicer head, everything is fine. Title is fine. Background, we don't need background. I just want to put a shadow. So I just want this. So that's good. And for it not to actually disturb this, let's just make it, let me make it this format. Let me go to the format, and let me go to slicer settings, drop down. Let me make it, let's say title 2023, 2024. Now we want to say the year. Let's see between. Let me see between. So we can actually use between. So let me go to slicer heading, and let me make the title a bit bigger. So, and let me make this and let me just, okay, I have to make this. Okay, that's actually good. You can just use it that way, because I don't want anything to come out. So we just copy this, then we paste 2 times, and this is going to be, this is going to be for this, and this is going to be for this as well. So we come back to this, and I'm going to make this. Let me go to the item. Let me collapse the source. Let me go to the item. We are having the first one, type. So we go to settings, and we're going to make it a drop down. Let's make it drop down. So what? Remember here, I have the type. So then we are still going to redo that one. Then we come back to this, remove. Then we put category. Then we go to settings, drop down, then I close this, then I'm coming back to not slicer, I don't need this. I need this background, not this, not this. I need this. I need this. What am I actually looking for? Okay, because I'm still clicking on this. Yeah, I want to go to the canvas. I want to use custom, and I want to increase the height a bit. Probably, yeah. I want to increase the height. Probably let me make the height like 1200. Let me see. And let me make this. Oh, the height is actually too much. Make the height 1000. Oh, still, it's too much. Let's make it 750. Okay, that's actually good because I'm going to, then the wide, let's increase the wide a bit. So let's increase the wide a bit. The reason why I'm doing this is because when you actually do this, I don't want it to cover anything here. So that is why let me still increase a bit and also increase this a bit. And I'm going to move this down. So, and I'm also going to move this down to be here. Then I'm going to move this down. And I can just make it a bit bigger. And to this side. I'm also going to move this down. And also, let it have the same height. Let this actually up a bit and let it have this. So we are having it perfectly done now. Then because I can just come down here, 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 and go to format. And let's go to slicer settings and let's make them drop down. And let's go to the headings. And I'm going to change it from this to what it was before. Let me bring it down to this. And let me reduce this. So I can actually, so I think type, I still want to make it a bit smaller. So category, type, and year. So let me come back to type. Let me come back to type and then student. It's still cover it, but that is still somehow good. So I want to go to type and make it capital letter. And let me go to item and also make it capital letter. So as you can see, before then I will just have to save, then go to our title and have our title as inventory analysis. So I have this, I have this, then we have inventory, inventory analysis. Then center it. Let me just try to make it a level more. Let me make it like 12, or better still, let me make it 16. So what am I going to do with this? 16 is somehow, okay. So that is good. Then I can just go to this, go to format, and then go to style. We don't want background, just a shadow. So that is actually what we need. I can just so before we call it a day, please, if you find this video useful, please, if you find this video interesting, if you find it educative in any way, please subscribe to this channel, please, and also tell your friends about this YouTube channel. It has been a while, but we are back now, full and healthy. So we can just try our, let me try to make this big so that we can see the old title category. So let's try our interactive filter. Let's see. As you can see, for appliance, so you can see what we have. We have a total sale of 197,000, cost of goods sold 138,000, quantity on hand. We have a quantity on hand of 18,000. Then we have back order of 7,443, which we have to look into because there are some goods that the customer have not received. Then we have a, oh, this is not a total sale. This is a profit. My pardon. So we have, this is our profits, not a total sales. So we have this as our gross profits. This as a gross profits. So you can see we have a gross profit of 59,000, which is not bad for appliance. Then when we go to electronics, you can see what we have. We have 30,000. We have 34,000 gross profit. Then we have total sales of 12,000. So we are actually doing well. As you can see, we have our forecast for inch. So you can see when we check our forecast for December, for January 2025, we are having a forecast of 15,000 upper bound, and we're having a lower bound of minus 4,093. So we can actually talk about this forecast in another video. So you can see, so when we come to the type as well, we see what we actually sold in each, as you can see, because we are having this in 1,000. So what should we having this in medium? Let me look into this, the total source. Everything is actually in 1,000. So halogen, we have our halogen. Look at what we sold. We have 0.05 million. So that is our total sales. So that's our total sales profit. We have 47,327. Actually, we are doing right. We are doing fine. I can just present this to my manager and let my manager see how far we have gone in our inventory. We have to look into the back order as quickly as possible. You may say, oh, what about the year? Okay, let's look at the year 2023. Let's look at our sales in 2023. Our sales, we have 389,000. Then we have cost of goods sold 272,000. Quantity on hand 46,000. Back order 15,000. We still have this to attend to. And then year 2024, also look at what we have. And so we have our profit. Look at goods sold by each year. Look at back orders that we have to look into greatly. So what am I going to tell my manager? I'm going to tell my manager, see, though we have a good source, we have a good profit, but we have, despite the fact we have item, we have a lot of units on hand, we have a lot of back order we need to attend to. What does that mean? That means there's some products that the customers have not received and we don't want to lose any of our customers. So because of that, we should attend to this. So you can see that is why we are having this here. We are having item category, we are having tools, we have condition and 18,000, 781. Then we are having quantity available 16,040. Then we are having a back order. So we have to look into this as soon as possible so that we'll be able to plan. And also we are having this trend and forecast stabilization in 2025. So this is a very good that we have to look forward to 2025, that we have to plan ahead of this. So you may ask me, 2025 is already going. This is 2024 data that we forecasted for 2025. So once again, my name is Peter Analytics. Thank you for joining me in this little journey of inventory analysis. Once again, please, if you find this video useful, if you find this video interesting, please subscribe to this channel. See you once again as we talk more about forecast and some other topic. Bye for now.